Well, welcome Dwayne to All-Star Cricket. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on here, mate. Currently one of the Superstar 2020 players for Chittagong Kings. Mate, how have you found your experience so far with the Bangladesh Premier League?
Yeah, it's obviously my first time here in Bangladesh, and I was really excited and looking forward to coming here, playing here, and being part of the BPL. It's a different atmosphere of playing in subcontinent conditions before I helped my personal game, but I was more looking forward to working with obviously new coaches, getting to meet new teammates and stuff. You know, playing in Mediterranean and someone who I played over the years, it was a great experience for me sharing the dressing room with him. Also our coaching staff, our batting coach Bevan, someone who obviously while growing up watching the game, you know, learned a lot from him. You know, Dean Jones also had a stint, and he's brought a different self of belief into the entire team, and I think with the local Bangladeshi players who not used to being in teams that, you know, players play so competitive and winning a lot of games. So it's a great experience to me, and I'm happy that I was part of it and take part of the tournament. And yeah.
And how do you find the standard? You play Big Bash, you play IPL, now Bangladesh Premier League. How does the standard compare to some of the other top quality competitions around the world?
Because the tournament was in a rush to get on. I think you know, you come here in Bangladesh and you find a lot of things not in place, but the games itself, you know, is very competitive at a high standard. Comparing it to the Big Bash or IPL, obviously it's much difference. To me, the Big Bash is the most toughest out of the three. But having said that, you know, players who played in the Big Bash and in IPL also played here in this tournament also, and making this tournament what it really is. And I think that, you know, the fans will appreciate it, the people in Bangladesh appreciate it. And I said, they have some of the best names in T20 cricket here in this tournament, and that's good to see.
Okay. Now, 40 test matches, 117 one-day internationals, and 22 T20s for your country. What's your favourite format to play? What do you enjoy playing most?
I enjoy playing Test cricket the most. As like I said to a lot of people, you only recognize how good you really are in international cricket if you do well at Test level. And I think that Test cricket is where people really look up to you and said, okay, yeah, this was a good player or a great player. You don't really judge from 10 to 20 or one-day internationals. Yes, it all counts, but for me, Test cricket is the ultimate. And you know, I was lucky enough to play 40 Test matches, which is a lot, you know, for a young person. My aim and my goal now is to try and you know, get back into the Test team and continue my Test career. I have, you know, goals and a lot of dreams, things to achieve at Test level. So that's my aim right now at the moment, to try and get back playing Test cricket. Obviously there's a process behind everything, and every opportunity I get, I'll try and make the best use of it.
Okay. And so for some of our players and coaches who are looking to learn and become better, can you perhaps share a couple of things that you're working on with your game that you will think help you get back into the Test team to play a bit more cricket?
The good thing of like what I have experienced playing cricket worldwide is that you come across coaches who play the game, and I think that helps a lot, because being a player itself, yes, you learn certain things on your own, but if you come across coaches who play the game and was successful, therefore their information become more digestible and easy to understand. And I'm fortunate enough that I was able to be in teams where I was coached by some of the better players that play the game, and they all understand my situation of trying to get back into international cricket, and they also help me to, you know, get back to enjoying the game. At one point in time, like late last year, I fell out of love of the game. I wasn't really enjoying it as much, you know, for whatever reason. And now I try to, I talk to people family, friends, and teammates also helped me. To, you know, the reason why I started playing the game, trying not to take on too much stuff outside that I can't really control. And I said that helped me a lot, and I think you know, that's something.
And, mate, Big Bash, Bangladesh Premier League, IPL, you're playing for a lot of T20 teams around the world. You know, what are the challenges when you're only with a team for say 3 to 4 weeks or 1 month or 2 months? Does that present challenges, or is it something that you enjoy?
Yes, it has its challenges, obviously. Like for instance, this year going to the Big Bash, my first 2 years in Big Bash, I was with the Big Bash Rangers, and then I moved to Sydney Sixers, and the franchise was split up. So both Sydney teams were split up. Obviously, knowing the players, playing against them, you know, then being in the same dressing room with them, obviously that's in itself a challenge. All different cultures, and what I do appreciate is that when I get there, they allow me to be myself, keep my West Indian flair, and don't try to change my game too much, and just, you know, appreciate that I bring a certain value to the team, and I try to learn from the coach and staff, other players, and I was just happy to be in those dressing rooms because it helped my game and make me a better player.
And what is it you love most about T20?
The challenge, that it's very competitive, and you know, you got to think on the feet at all times, and coming up against some of the best players, I said, it always brings out the best in you, and that's how you really know if you're really good enough to play this game, when you come up against good players and pressure situations. In T20 there's a lot of more pressure situations than other matches, and once you can overcome that, then obviously you'll tell yourself, okay, yeah.
And mate, one of the things I've noticed since you've been here and over the last couple of years watching you play, it seems to me that you really love bowling at the death overs.
Yeah.
Most bowlers cringe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the time where the batsmen in T20 cricket are really looking to score 10 plus and over.
Yeah.
Can really ruin the bowler's figures and turn the match. But you seem to revel in bowling at the end. How do you approach bowling in the last sort of 5 overs in 2020 cricket?
Yeah, like I said, it's challenge, and I think anything that I do, I challenge myself. I like competition, I like competing, and I always believe that I will always come out on top. Not all the time I'll come out on top, but that's how I live, that's how I play my game. And I think when someone is going after you, that is when they say, okay, it's you versus me, and let's see who's a better person. And I back myself, and that's it.
And for some of the young bowlers or the coaches there, what do you have in your armoury? Like what balls do you think are the most successful in the last couple of overs? What are your go-to balls?
My go-to ball is definitely the Yorker. The Yorker length. Once you get a good Yorker, to all kids out there, or bowlers or coaches, that once they can execute a very good Yorker, it's difficult to hit. Slower balls, variation of pace also works, and it depends on the conditions. Short ball is also important. It's a dot ball. Very few players in the world play short ball very well. So if you can have those balls, a short ball, slower ball, Yorker, and now modern days now they develop the slower bumper. So if you can have a slower bouncer, fast bouncer, Yorker, slower ball, all those weapons, you know, it's good to have, and it always have a better thinking, not sure what is coming, and that's where you have the upper hand. And also on in a bowling point of view, try to think like a batter. Also, you know, you're bowling, yes, you know what you want to do, but you must try to think ahead what the batsman want to do also. So therefore you can also counteract his plans.
Okay. And just finally, mate, who's the most dangerous 2020 player in the world at the moment? Apart from yourself, of course.
I haven't put myself in there. I mean, there's so many good T20 players around the world, and you know, you gotta give credit to all of them.
Who are some of your favourite T20 players?
Obviously, Chris Gale is a top. Pollard, David Warner from Australia. He's very dangerous, and obviously can't leave out someone like Verena Sewag. So those players, yeah, dangerous players.
All right, well, thanks very much for your time, Dwayne. It's been an absolute pleasure to hear more about your game and yourself and how you approach it. I'm sure our viewers will really appreciate it. So thanks very much.
No problem. Thanks.
Cheers.